Good evening and welcome to Wrestling Rewind and this evening, Wrestling Archives. I am your host, Angel Amoroso, and I am joined by my co-host, the Iron Man, Tommy Cairo. Tommy.
Hey, what's happening?
So tonight, we're going to get into the list of wrestling tag teams and tag team stables.
Were you a tag team, fan of tag teams?
I managed many tag teams, so pretty much, because there's more going on. It's a lot more to watch with
that's
tag.
That's the exact problem for me. I have a hard enough time remembering what me and one guy are going to do. How am I going to remember what these other three guys are going to do?
Right.
That's why I look at it.
I like to manage tag teams just because it's more interesting. You were there.
I like to fight the teams that you manage.
Yes, they were always really good to work with. Yeah. So let's move on to the other list of wrestling tag teams and tag team stables.
All right.
Get to it here. All right. So this is a list of notable professional wrestling tag teams and stables from throughout the history of professional wrestling. Some teams or stables were active across several time periods, and if so, they are listed by when they formed only. So, all right, the contents here. We're going to get into the golden era first. That's 1930s to the mid-1960s. So we have the tag team, the Assassins members, Assassin number 1 and number 2. Manager, it says, all right, not available. So
they shouldn't be on the list.
Yeah, seriously. All right. And then we have the Blonde Bombers, Carolinas, Rip Hawk and Swade Hansen, managed by Gary Hart, Homer Odell, and they were a tag team. So, and then we have the California Blonde Bombers. That was Pat Patterson and Ray Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
So, a little bit different.
I wonder what the rooming situation was like with those guys.
I knew it would be brought up eventually. Then we have the Cormier brothers, Rudy K., Leo Burke, Bobby K., and the Beast.
I believe that's Canada.
Okay, and then we got the Fabulous Kangaroos, Al Costello, Roy Heffernan, Don Kent, Ray St. Clair, Tony Charles, Bruno Becker, and Johnny Heffernan.
All those guys at one time or another were a tag team. 2 guys.
They were managed by Red Berry, George Cannon, Sir Dudley Clement, and Sir Dudley Clement. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, and then we got the Heavenly Bodies, Al Green and Don Green, and no manager there. And then we have the Kalmikoffs, Ivan, Carol, Nikita, and Stan Kalmikoff. Now, this is, I guess, before Koloff.
Yes.
Just Koloff. Okay. Yeah. And then we have the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Gene Anderson and Lars Anderson. No matter who wanted to take that name in the future and use it, as trashy as they were, they shouldn't have been able to. Yeah. And then we have the Vachons, Maurice Vachon, Paul Vachon, and Stan Vachon. And they were a stable. So not a tag team. Most of these are specified as tag teams, and then you'll know when they're stable, why there's more than 2. Then we have the Von Brauners, Carl Von Brauner, Kurt Von Brauner, and number 1, and Eric Bronner and Kurt Von Brauner, number 2.
Yeah, I think when there's a lot of them like that, it could mean that those are different guys that played that same role.
Well, it says that they were tag team and not a stable, which is odd because it seems like there's several of them. They were managed by Saul Weinger-Off.
Yep.
And then we come to Kurt and Carl von Steiger.
Wow.
And
a lot of Russians and Germans and wow.
Sure, yeah. And that was the tag teams. And now we move on to the territorial era, mid-1960s to 1982. So let's see, we got the Blackjacks, Blackjack Mulligan and Blackjack Lanza.
Yep.
We got the Blonde Bombers, Wayne Ferris and Larry Latham.
That's Honky Tonk Man, Wayne Ferris.
Yeah, yeah. And then we got the fabulous ones, Stan Lane and Steve Kern. And then Los Guerreros, Chavo Guerrero, Mondo Guerrero, and Hector Guerrero. Now,
Guerreros.
Tag team, but pretty sure Mucho Guerrero. They did a lot of 6-man tags and all that jazz. So let's get to that.
Jazz, that's right. That's jazz. It is.
Exactly. Let's see. All right. So the territorial era.
That's all they had, huh?
No, I'm looking. No. Okay. It's just for some reason not moving for me. The Moondogs is the last ones on that list. It's Rex King, Spot, and Spike.
And one of them was Larry Latham.
Yeah, there has to be more on this list that's not moving, but we'll see. Okay, so we'll get back to that. All right.
Okay.
Golden era.
So what's next?
Oh, here we go. But it's not moving up. Huh. It's really weird that okay, Los Guerreros and then Los Misioneros, Adel La Muerta, Negro Navarro, El Signo, and El Texicano as a trio. See, now they got them advertised, right, as a trio, 6-man tags.
Mexico's all trios.
Mostly. Yes. And then we have the Moondogs, as I said, Rex, okay. And it's doing that thing again where it's not moving up. Or is it?
No, it seems to be stuck at the Negros.
Okay, here we go. The Valiant brothers, Johnny Valiant, Jimmy Valiant, and Jerry Valiant.
Yes.
The Wild Samoans, Afa and Sika, managed by Albano. And then we got the Yukon Lumberjacks, the Yukon Eric, and Yukon Pierre, managed by Lou Albano. And now we're moving on to 1980s wrestling boom from 1983 to 1993. And this was Jim Crockett Promotions World Championship Wrestling. You could also see that for promotional teams and stables and whatnot. So first we got the Brain Busters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. I think they don't have a manager there, but I think James J. Dillon, J.J. Dillon managed them.
At some point,
and then Sting and Lex Luger, we got them as a tag team there. The Fabulous Freebirds, Michael P.S. Hayes, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, Buddy Roberts, and Jimmy Garvin. And that, of course, was the WCW version of the Freebirds, right?
Terry Gordy, one of the absolute best big men ever in the sport.
I
couldn't even stand with him. Those other guys.
Couldn't agree with you more. He was one of my favorites. And then we move on to the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers, Jackie Fulton from time to time, I would imagine. And then the Four Horsemen, says see list, but I think we know. Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson from time to time, interchangeably with Barry Windham, Lex Luger.
Barry Windham was good.
Let's see who else was in it. Sting. Let's see who else was a Four Horsemen
you can take it all the way to Paul Romer.
See the list. So we have the managers, J.J. Dillon, Arn Anderson, and they're listed as a stable, which they always were. Had a ton of people with them. So, and then we move on to the Hollywood Blondes, Steve Austin and Brian Pillman. And I think that they were also managed by Jeannie Clark.
Who was it?
Jeannie Clark, Steve
really?
Austin's wife in World Class.
Right.
Don't call me on that, but I'm pretty sure I saw that at one point. Then we got J, and maybe J-Tex Corporation, Terry Funk, Dick Slater, and the Great Muta, the Dragon Master, and Buzz Sawyer, managed by Gary Hart, your favorite.
I love that. That's a great crew right there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know if was this WCW, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we have the Lightning Express, Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner.
Mm-hmm.
The Midnight Express, this one, a formation of Dennis Condrey, Bobby Eaton. And it says, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose are apart from each other in this list for some reason. I don't know why, because together they made the tag team. Right. And then Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane, Ron Starr and Norvell Austin. I don't know who that is.
I know who Norvell Austin. I know who they are, but I don't remember them being associated with them. Norvell Austin was a little black guy. Was very good. Yeah,
I don't remember him being a part of the Midnight Express, but managed by Jim Cornette, of course.
Might have been one episode and you missed it.
Yeah, and actually, if they're being technical, the original Midnight Express, that was Randy
Rose and Dennis Condrey.
Yeah, and they were managed by Paul E. Dangerous.
Yeah.
So to get that correct. And then we have the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Arn Anderson and Ole Anderson, managed by J.J. Dillon. The Mod Squad, Mac Jeffers and Spike and Jim Bashers. These guys, I was a heckler back in the day.
Right.
Terrible. And these guys would come out ringside and look for me and point at me and just wait for me because I was like the most famous person to antagonize.
Was that the Rap Patrol?
What's that?
Who was it? The Rap Patrol? That was who?
The Mod Squad. The Mod Squad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like them.
Yeah, pretty funny stuff. Yeah. So, okay. Now we move on to the New Breed. Excuse me, Chris Champion and Sean Royal.
Sean Royal was awesome.
Yeah, and Chris Champion later ran some shows. I think he got in trouble for doing some stuff with some 12-year-old girl at one point. But moving on, we have Paul Jones Army. It says see a list of members. That was a stable, but then it doesn't give me the option. But I think we know Paul Jones had Tully Blanchard and all those dudes. So all right. The powers
of last few years in, being a manager because he wrestled almost right up. He wrestled and then bam, he was a manager.
Right. Then we got the Powers of Pain, the Barbarian and the Warlord, managed by Paul Jones, the Baron and Mr. Fuji. So they had a lot of managers. The Powers of Pain.
Oh yeah, they were big guys.
WWE time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then we have the Road Warriors.
Oh.
Animal and Hawk, managed by Paul Ellering.
Yep. Nobody could ever top the Road Warriors ever again in history. There will never be two guys that you couldn't deny them. If they couldn't work worth a lick, it didn't matter. And they eventually got better. And there will never be another tag team like that. And who do you have? Paul Ellering. Been in there, huge built guy that wrestled. And what does he carry in his hand rolled up every day?
A newspaper, right?
Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Meaning,
smart guy.
Not only do I have those monsters, you got this brain here that's
you got the smarts to go along with it. Well, one quiet manager, but and not as active as the others, but a good one. And then we have the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. That about says it all. We don't need to say too much more about them. The Russian team, it says see list members. Now,
that was probably
you remember Nikolai, Nikita. I'm sorry, not Nikolai, Nikita, Ivan.
They had another guy too.
Yeah, Vladimir Petrov.
Yeah.
It was they said was a cousin or something like that. Yeah. So,
he was jacked.
Yeah, he was huge. And then we have the Samoan SWAT team, Fatu, Samu, Kokina, Alofa, Ruro, and the Samoan Savage, managed by Paulie Dangerously and Oliver Humperdinck.
Do not get those people mad at you.
Right. The Samoans, no one wants to do that. Then we have the Sheepherders, Luke and Butch Miller. I thought they had a manager at one point, but I can't recall. Oh, Johnny Ace. He was
Yes,
a
yes,
flag bearer at one point
yes.
in NWA, early
So
NWA.
is it only Luke that's alive, or is it?
Did Butch pass?
Wait,
I didn't
I'm
know
trying.
that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I have a hard time remembering who's who. Who's the thinner guy?
The Luke
Luke.
is.
So Luke's alive.
Yeah, I think Luke is working with ISPW,
Yes, yes.
Tommy Fierro, and over in New Jersey right now. So yeah,
I don't know
Luke
if Butch
is
is
still
around.
with us. And then we move on to the Steiner brothers, Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner, been around a while. And then the Superpowers, Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff. Never was crazy about that.
Yeah.
And we have the Varsity Club C member list. We don't have to. We know it was Mike
I like the
Rotunda,
Varsity Club.
Rick Steiner, Kevin Sullivan, and let's see,
Mike Rotunda.
Mike Rotunda. Yeah, I said that. Mike Rotunda. There we can't miss anyone. It wasn't like too much of a list there. So then we have the York Foundation, managed by Alexandra York, C member list, which was Terry Taylor and Mike Rotunda.
That was good. I thought she was good.
Yeah. That was good. And before that was Alexandra York, Marlena, before she became Marlena.
Oh, yeah.
So what was her name? It's not Marlena. What is it? We know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
So okay. And then moving on to World Wrestling Federation tag teams, the Bolsheviks, Boris Zukov and Nikolai Volkov, managed by Slick. And then
Slick was a good manager. Slick was a good manager.
Yeah, great. Really great. And then we have the Brain Busters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, managed by Bobby Heenan.
That did not get over in New York.
No, it did not. And then we move on to the British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid, managed by Lou Albano.
Kiddo.
And also the dog. We got to credit the dog in there. What was the dog's name? Matilda.
Yeah,
there
he actually gave them the dog. Like,
yeah, why not?
But now you got to carry that thing around, travel, man. Who wants that?
Right. And then we have the Beverly brothers, Bo Beverly and Blake Beverly. Yeah, all right. Managed by the genius, Lenny Poffo, which should elaborate since most people wouldn't remember that. Right. And then we have the Bushwhackers, Luke Williams and Butch Miller, again, for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, it's WWF tag teams. Okay, right. So we're over. And then we have the Can-Am Connection, Rick Martel and Tom Zank Connection.
Yeah.
And then we have the Colossal Connection, Andre the Giant and Haku.
Wow.
I'm surprised that they didn't have a manager.
Yeah. Doesn't it say Bobby Heenan to the right?
Oh, I'm sorry. It does. Bobby Heenan is the manager. Yeah. Somehow I wasn't saying that. And then we move on. We have Demolition, Axe, Smash, Original Smash, and Crush, managed by Mr. Fuji. Okay. And then we got the Dream Team of Brutus Beefcake, Greg Valentine, and Dino Bravo, managed by Jimmy Hart. And then we got the Fabulous Rougeau brothers, Jacques Rougeau and Raymond Rougeau, managed by Jimmy Hart. Again, Jimmy Hart, a big manager back then, just had control of everyone, seems like. Then we got the Glamour Girls, Judy Martin and Leilani Kai, managed by Jimmy Hart. The Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, managed by Jimmy Hart. The Heavenly Bodies, San Lane, Tom Pritchard, and Jimmy Del Rey, managed by Jim Cornette. The Heenan family, memberless, managed by Bobby Heenan, I guess as a staple. Do you remember who it was without clicking on the list?
I think it was Brutus was one of them.
Pretty sure it was pretty long. Greg Valentine, Brutus Beefcake.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
And Bobby Heenan also had his own show too. They did a lot with Bobby Heenan.
Yeah,
the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, I believe, were under him for a while.
The commentary between Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon, nobody else could have made that match like that. That was just so hilarious. I think.
You know what? I stand corrected. The Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov were managed by Classy, Freddie Blassie, and Slick. Okay. So I stand corrected on that one. And then we move on to the Islanders, Haku and Tama, managed by Bobby Heenan. We got the Jumping Bomb Angels, Norio. I'm sorry,
Kitano and Izuki Yamazaki.
and Izuki Yamazaki.
Just say some few words out real quick, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised they didn't have a manager. Then we got the Killer Bees, Jim Brazel and Brian Blair.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the Legion of Doom, Animal and Hawk, managed by Paul Ellering, and then Los Conquistadors, number 1 and number 2.
That's another gimmick. You could use anybody that looks around the same height. Nobody's gonna know.
Pretty much, as long as they're like slim and fit in a suit and a mask. And then we got the Machines.
Do you remember them?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
He got over big in Japan. One was Andre. I'm not sure. And I don't know who the other ones were. Maybe one was Bill
Big John Studd, maybe?
I think Bill Eadie was one. I know Andre was one. But they were like, because they were so big, Japan, they were huge in Japan.
Yeah. All right.
Machines. And they had these cool masks that had like a screen over where the eyes would go. Very cool.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Another one of those where they could stick whoever was around in it,
Okay. All right. And then we got the Mega Bucks, Andre the Giant and Ted DiBiase. Andre seemed to be in a lot of tag team compilations there.
Yeah.
And, back in the day. And then we got the Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, managed by Miss Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. One of the more popular combos at the time, I guess. And then moving on to the Mega Maniacs, Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake, managed by Jimmy Hart. Money Inc., Ted DiBiase and Erwin R. Shyster, managed by Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
The Nasty Boys, Brian Knobs and Jerry Saggs, managed by Jimmy Hart. The Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon. The Orient Express, Eko Sato, Pat Tanaka, and Kato, managed by Mr. Fuji. Power and Glory, Hercules and Paul Roma, managed by Slick. The Powers of Pain, the Barbarian and the Warlord, managed by Mr. Fuji.
They can hang with the Road Warriors a little bit.
Most definitely. Yeah. And they still both look great. If you see them currently, unbelievable shape. Then we got Rhythm and Blues, the Honky Tonk Man and Greg Valentine, managed by Jimmy Hart. And then we got the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty.
Mm-hmm.
Strike Force, Rick Martel and Tito Santana. The Twin Towers, Akeem and the Big Boss Man. Weren't they managed by Slick?
I think they're another one of those teams that like it.
Oh, wait, no. Maybe. See, I see it. I think Akeem was just managed by Slick, but I thought at one time the Big Boss Man. I thought they both were. I don't know. I'm wrong, maybe. Right. Then we got One Man. It's far from the One Man Gang, right?
He killed it, though.
Yes.
He took that gimmick and we started doing all the, I thought that
definitely made something into it that you didn't think he could.
Yeah.
As the person from where he's from and everything. Yeah. Amazing. And then we got the Young Stallions, Jim Powers and Paul Roma. I see the sign. I hear crickets. Then we got.
Let's see now.
Right. The 1990s wrestling boom, 1994 to 2001. So we got Monday Night Wars, Extreme Championship Wrestling, and other stuff. So let's start with we got Danny Doring and Roadkill. That's an ECW tag team.
It's already after us. We're already on.
Right, exactly. The Miracle Violence Connection, Dr. Death Steve Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. I guess that was over in Japan. They did that because there for a long time. Sabu and Rob Van Dam, managed by Bill Alfonso. Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger.
Another example of omission and like you starting where you're starting is not those companies been around already. It's like they're crazy, these people.
Then we got the Bad Breed, Axel Rotten and Ian Rotten. The Bad Crew, number 1 and 2. The Bad Crew were managed by Damian Kane, and that's not noted, which is kind of weird. And they also had Damian Kane's wife, I think her name was Lady Victoria, if I'm not mistaken, was also their side manager. Right. The Bad Street Boys, Gregory Helms, Christian York, and Joey Matthews, 3-way. And then we got the Blue World Order member list. I think we know is Supernova, the Blue Meanie, and Stevie Richards. The Can-Am Connection, Doug Furness and Phil LaFawn. The Dangerous Alliance, C member list. As far as we can remember, we don't want to see the member list.
I'm pissed off. This is a joke.
Let's see. I remember the last one was Medusa, Rick Rude, and the Barry Windham, and let's see, but I don't know. The Dangerous Alliance. Look it up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to waste my time.
I'm sick already.
So, and then we got the Dudley boys, Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley.
Okay, so
managed by Joel Gertner.
With Dudley? What about dances with Dudley? What about
original Dudley? Yes. I guess maybe we'll get to it. Here's the Dudley brothers, and it says see member list.
Okay.
And then doesn't give you an option to click on a member list. But as we said, Dances with Dudley, Jeff Bradley, original Dudley, Devon Dudley, friggin' who are we missing here? Big Dick Dudley and Spike Dudley. Shit, I don't know. Figure it out. The Dudley brothers. There's a lot of them. And then we got the Eliminators, Perry Saturn and John Cronus. The Full-Blooded Italians, C member list. Tracy Smothers. Let's see. Little Guido. Okay.
It was DeVito too, right?
And JT Smith. Tony DeVito, I think, and JT Smith. Okay. And then we got the Gangstonators, New Jack and John Cronus. I actually never got a chance to see that one.
Yeah, I don't know if that caught on too good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it would. And then we have the Gangsters, New Jack and Mustafa Saeed. The Headhunters, Headhunter A and Headhunter B. I actually liked, and they were managed by Victor, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's not in there either. Yep. But I guess not when they came to ECW. Victor didn't come with them.
No.
But I like how they used A and B instead of 1 and 2, like every other tag team. That I thought that was a real original twist to put on these two 600-pound guys who look like Abdullah the Butcher already. And then we move on to the Impact players, Justin Credible and Lance Storm, managed by Dahmery and Jason Knight. I'm surprised this list put Jason Knight in it since he's usually left out of a lot of lists. Yeah. Then we got the network. It says C member list. I don't know who that is. You?
What was it?
The network.
The network. I don't even remember that name.
Okay. Well, they're on the list. The Pitbulls, Pitbull number 1 and Pitbull number 2, managed by Francine, and a lot of other people. Larry Sharp, for one, their most famous manager, Larry Sharp, Pitbulls. So let's throw that in there. And then we have the Public Enemy, Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge. They had some managers,
some wars there
later on, but Teddy. Oh, Teddy
trained me.
Yes. Then we got the Ravens Nest C members list. Okay, I think we can figure it out. Yes, Raven. Whether it's the ECW one or the WCW one, Raven had Kimona and Beulah and Stevie Richards and the Blue Meanie and Nova, BWO. So the Ravens Nest there. I don't know if there was more people in it. You probably know better than I would.
There was a lot of people in it now. There were.
Yes. And then we got the Super Destroyers, Doug Stahl and AJ Petrucci, managed by Hunter Q. Robbins. So, we're going to be talking to AJ soon.
We're going to bring AJ in soon. I'm going to call him this week.
Yes. Do it to it. And then we got the Triple Threat C member list. Well, at one point, I was a member of the Triple Threat of Curtis Hughes and Shane Douglas.
Wow.
So, yes, I should be on that list.
Absolutely.
Other members were, and later on, were Chris Candido, Bam Bam Bigelow, Shane Douglas, managed by Francine and Sonny, and a whole bunch of other people. So there was a long list of the triple threat, original triple threat, up until the ones that you got to see in the later ECW time.
I'm going to call these people up tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Then we got the Unholy Alliance, Mikey Whipwreck and Yoshihiro Tsukuri, managed by the Sinister Minister.
Now that guy,
very interesting guy.
That's a talented dude, man, right there. You know, he's a very rare talent comes along like him.
Absolutely. Then moving on to the World Wrestling Federation New Generation from 1994 to 1996.
This will all be new to me.
Yeah, right. We got Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. Owen Hart and Yokozuna, I thought was like probably one of the worst combinations. Two dudes with attitudes, Shawn Michaels, Diesel, and Diesel, Kevin Nash. The Allied Powers, Davey Boy Smith and Lex Luger. The Body Donnas, Skip and Zip, managed by Sonny. The Godwins, the Godwins, Henry O. Godwin and Phineas Godwin, managed by Hillbilly Jim, and at one point Sonny.
Wow,
that's weird.
Yeah.
The Head Shrinkers, Fatu, Samu, and Sion, managed by Lou Albano.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Men on a Mission, Mabel and Mo, managed by Oscar. I actually had Oscar on several of my TCW shows back in 1996.
He was a small one, right?
He would come out and MC and, you know, do some songs for the kids and everything. And he got over with the audience that I had, at least. Then we got the $1 Million Corporation, managed by Ted DiBiase. It says see member list. Do you recall?
Well, he's the manager at this point.
Yeah.
So it's beyond his era with the money and all that running around when he was working. So I don't really think they could have been doing it too long because I don't remember him in that role really.
People watching this are going to be able to answer this before we do. Yeah. And so then we got PG-13, JC Ice and Wolfie D. The Quebecers, Jacques Rougeau and Pierre Oulout, managed by Johnny Polo.
You know who that is? Pierre Oulet. That's PCO.
I'm sorry. Oulet. I'm sorry.
No, but that's PCO. You know the worker PCO? That's him.
Yes. And then we have the Smoking Guns, Bart Gunn and Billy Gunn, managed by Sonny. They put her to work. Then we got Techno Team 2000, Travis and Troy.
What the hell was that?
I'm not sure.
Must be another short-lived gimmick, you know?
Yeah, I don't know about WWE especially. I don't remember that.
Knowing them, this is Techno Team. They probably came out with flashing lights or some crap.
You know, I do recall Chris Champion and his partner getting a chance under a different name. It was something 2000, so that could have been them. But don't quote me on that. Then moving on, we got Well Done, Timothy Well and Stephen Dunn. I thought this was kind of a funny tag team, managed by Harvey Whippleman.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the Attitude Era, 1997 to 2002. We got the Acolytes Protection Agency, APA, Farooq and Bradshaw, managed by Jacqueline and the Cat.
Jacqueline, we know her. Jacqueline is the worker, right?
The Jackal, Jacqueline and the Cat. So Jacqueline being Miss Texas.
Right.
The Cat, that's Jerry Lawler's lady there. Yeah, it's okay. And then we got the Big Show and Kane.
Okay.
No manager, which is odd. The Brood, Gangrel, Edge, and Christian as a three-way. Brothers of Destruction, Kane and The Undertaker. I thought they were managed by Paul Bearer, but I guess that's not available information.
Well, you know The Undertaker was when he was by himself.
Right. As a tag team, like, how can they not have a manager? I don't understand that. Okay, and then we got Los Conquistadors again, Uno and Dos.
1 and 2.
Yeah. The corporate ministry, see member list.
I don't know that either.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look that one up myself. Then we got the corporate ministry, again, see member list. These are things that don't let you click on the member list. The corporation, again, see member list. D Generation X, see member list. We know that was Triple H and Sean Waltman, X-Pac, and Scott Hall, and China, and Diesel.
Yep.
So, okay. Got that one. And then we got the Disciples of Apocalypse, Crush, Chains, Skull, and 8 Ball, managed by Paul Ellering.
Huh. I remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that, actually. That's when they were just bringing a whole bunch of tag teams with different, racially charged gimmicks against each other. So it was like bikers and the whole Black Crew and all that. So
they're on the list because they actually had a match, but they may have only had a couple, and then they're gone.
Right, then out of there. And then we got the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley, managed by Stacy Keebler. Edge and Christian, just Edge and Christian. The Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, managed by Lita, Terry Runnels, and Michael Hayes.
Really?
I didn't know about the Terry Runnels one, but okay. The Hart Foundation, Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Jim Neidhart, Davey Boy Smith, and Brian Pillman. I would imagine at one point they were managed by Jimmy Hart, but doesn't say that on here. Maybe not at that time. Who knows? And then
Pillman's the only one that's not in the family.
Yeah, right. But he was in the dungeon, right? Okay, so they got to include him. Yeah. The Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher. The Holly cousins, Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly, and Molly Holly as their manager.
I thought she was great.
Oh, she's fantastic. I always loved her everything, like her whole persona. She's got like more wrestling ability than probably any woman that was there at the time. So, yeah, pretty great. And then we got the Job Squad again.
That would have been Al Snow, right?
Yes. I think was Tom Brandy a part of that?
I remember only that. I don't remember who he had.
Okay. Then we got, let's see, Kai and Tai. Okay. I don't know
who that is.
Yeah. Okay. No, I remember who it is. I just can't remember the name right now. I can't remember the name. So, and then we got the Clique, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman, and Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
And then the Legion of Doom, Animal, Hawk, and Droz, managed by Paul Ellering and at one point Sonny.
Okay.
Los Barriquos, Savio Vega, Miguel Perez, Jose Estrada Jr., and Jesus, hurry up. Jesus Castillo. Jesus. Then we got the McMahon Helmsley faction. See member list. I'm sure it's, the McMahons and the Helmsleys. So we're not even going to try to look that up. And then we got the Mean Street Posse, Pete Gass, Rodney, and Joey Abs.
Remember that.
Then the Ministry of Darkness.
It's got to be Kevin Sullivan.
See member list. No, it was like Viscera.
Oh, really?
And,
okay.
Let me see. I think Gangrel might have been in it. And the Ministry of Darkness. It was a little different.
Yeah.
So, and then we got the Nation of Domination, which was originally The Rock and Ron Simmons, D'Lo Brown, and I think I might be missing one.
Yeah.
Mark Henry.
Yeah, there's somebody else too. I can see his face, but I can't think of his name.
No, Mark Henry, Ron Simmons, the Rock, and D'Lo Brown.
Yeah,
that was before. And then we got the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg, and Billy Gunn. The New Brood, Gangrel, Matt Hardy, and Jeff Hardy. The Oddities, which, I can't remember these guys' names for the life of me, but Luna Vachon managed them along with the Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
I don't remember their
guy with the
really big guys.
Yeah.
Right. And then we got Pretty Mean Sisters, Terry, Jacqueline, and Ryan Shamrock. The Radicals, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Perry Saturn, and Dean Malenko.
Okay. It's a good group.
Right to Censor, see member list, which was Ivory, Stevie Richards, Val Venus, and I can't remember the other people were. I don't remember the other people.
I guess I wasn't paying attention at this point. Not
but they were the main speakers characters. The Rock and Slock Connection, The Rock and Mankind McFoley, TNA, Test and Albert, Team ECG, Edge Christian, Kurt Angle, and Rhino, Too Cool, Scotty Too Hottie, and Grandmaster Saxay and Rikishi.
I like that.
It was a fun trio. Yeah, it was fun. Then we got the Truth Commission, see all members. Someone knows who they are, not me. The two-man power trip, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H, managed by Stephanie McMahon. Excuse me. And then we got the Un-Americans, Christian, Lance Storm, Test, and William Regal. Then moving on to the Union. I don't know who that is. It says see all members list. I know I'm supposed to be teaching you, but
yeah, but you know,
I've got time to look this up.
You know why? Because we were wasting on a faction or a group that didn't do much. You know.
Right. Okay. And then we got Vince's Devils, Candice, Michelle, Tori Wilson, and Victoria. And then the X Factor, X-Pac, Just Incredible, and Albert. Then moving on to World Championship Wrestling tag teams. We got Tex Slagner, and Shanghai Pierce.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. 3 count, Sheen Holmes, Shannon Moore, and Evan Carlas.
Courageous.
I'm sorry. Evan Courageous. Doesn't look like it says that.
He was a good worker, that kid.
I'm sure. All those kids were good. The amazing French Canadians, Jacques Rougeau and Carl. Or say again, Tommy?
Oulet.
He
bad attitude. Himself, that guy.
Bad attitude. Bobby Eaton and Steve Kern. Oh, maybe they didn't know that name was being used in Jersey by another tag team. And then we got the Blue Bloods of Lord Stephen Regal and David Taylor and Robert Eaton. All right, Bobby Eaton. They're saying Robert Eaton.
Yes, they're going to make them, you know.
Royalty, I get it. Okay. Yeah. The Cole twins, Keith and Kent Cole.
I remember them.
Yeah, me too. The Dancing Fools, Disco Inferno, and Alex Wright. Yep. The Dangerous Alliance, managed by Paulie Dangerously. You know, a bunch of them. Moving on. The Diamond Exchange. Managed by Diamond Dallas Page. I think Scott Hall was in there, and don't remember too many other ones. Doom, which was Ron Simmons and Butch Reed, managed by Teddy Long, and then Woman.
Oh.
The Dungeon of Doom, Jimmy Hart he manages that. Dungeon of Doom, was that the Kevin Sullivan?
Yes, it was.
Faction. Yes, pretty sure of it. The Dungeon of Doom. Yeah. So, and then we got the Enforcers, Arn Anderson and Larry Zbyszko. The Fabulous Freebirds, Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin, managed by Little Richard Marley. Big Daddy Dink?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Oh, Jimmy Garvin and Bad Street. I don't know. I don't remember no Big Daddy Dink, but okay. The Faces of Fear, the Barbarian, and Meng, managed by Jimmy Hart. The Filthy Animals, managed by
big
Wilson. Big list. Yeah. It was like Rey Mysterio and Psychosis and
Billy Kidman was
Pharaoh and all those kids, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. The First Family, managed by Jimmy Hart. I
forget who that is.
Okay. And then the Four Horsemen, managed by J.J. Dillon. We all know who the Four Horsemen are. Come on. Harlem Heat, Booker T, Stevie Ray, and Big T, managed by Sister Sherry, Jacqueline, and just Biggs again.
Yeah.
It's J. Biggs. Okay. Then we got the Harris brothers, Ron and Don Harris. High Voltage, Robbie
remember those
Page,
guys.
and Kenny Chaos.
They were cool.
All right. The Hollywood Blondes, Steve Austin and Brian Pillman.
Mm-hmm.
The Insiders, Dallas Page and Kevin Nash. The Jersey Triad, Diamond Dallas Page, Chris Canyon, and Bam Bam Bigelow. Huh.
Okay.
Really? The Jung this says the Jung Dragons.
Yep.
I thought it was the Young Dragons, but okay, we'll go with that. The Jung Dragons.
Japanese.
Managed by Leia Meow, which was also known as Kimono Wanalea in ECW. That was Kaz Hayashi and Yang, and Jimmy San was the Jang Dragons. And then we got Chronic, Brian and Brian Adams.
They were awesome. They were two big guys, jacked.
Yeah,
they were awesome.
Huge. You can't get bigger than that, right? Yeah. The Latino World Order. I'm not going to look up that list, but you guys can. The Magnificent Seven, also with a list. No, I don't remember that. The Mama Lukes, Big Vito and Johnny the Bull. Yeah. The Millionaires Club. Again, see member list, of which I won't. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew, number 2. Yeah, and number 1 and number 2. So, Dr. Death Steve Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. The Misfits in Action. It says see member list, but we know Bill DeMott was a part of it. And one of what is that one? The one Guerrero, the one from WCW, younger one.
There was
Mondo Hector. Chavo. I don't know. The whole Misfits in Action thing rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah. So I won't even get too into who else they are. Moving on, we got the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobs and Jerry Saggs, the Natural Born Killers. It says, I'm sorry, Natural Born Thrillers. It says see member list. I don't know. I recall Natural Born Killers because I managed.
Too many names that sound alike for you to discern who.
Yes. And then we got the New Blood. It also says see member list. New World Order. People know who these people are. The No Limit Soldiers.
Oh, Bill DeMott was in that, wasn't he?
Okay, possibly.
Yeah.
Then we got the Outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. The Perfect Event, Stan Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo. Pretty Wonderful, Paul Roma and Paul Orndorff. Ravens Flock. There, it was a whole different bunch of guys, like Lodi and
Billy Kidman.
There was, I think Sandman was there for a while with, there was a girl, the girl, Chastity.
Oh, Chastity, yeah.
Yeah, she was there, and or maybe they were feuding with Raven. But either way, all right, Raven's faction, they were there. And moving on. The X Factor, X-Pac, Just Incredible, and Albert. I don't know. Did I move on?
I don't remember Albert being with them too long.
No. Okay. And then we move on to World Championship Wrestling again. The Revolution, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Shane Douglas, and Perry Saturn, managed by Asia. Okay. Stars and Stripes, Marcus Bagwell and the Patriot. The Stud Stable, managed by Colonel Robert Parker. I don't know what it was in WCW, but I know what it was in USWA. But that wouldn't do us much good here, would it? Okay, and then we have Team Canada, managed by Major Guns. Team Madness, Randy Savage and Sid Vicious, managed by Gorgeous George, Miss Madness, and Medusa Michelli. Yes, a lot of managers going. Lots of stuff going on. Then Team Madness. Okay, that's Team Madness. I said that. The American Males, Marcus Bagwell and Scotty Riggs.
Yep.
The Three Faces of Fear, Kevin Sullivan, Avalanche, and the Butcher.
There's the Butcher.
Vicious.
Butcher? No.
No, it just says the Butcher. Vicious and Delicious, Buff Bagwell and Scott Norton.
Okay.
The West Hollywood Blondes, Lenny Lane and Lodi. The West Texas Rednecks, it says member list. We will not. And then we got moving on to the 21st century. It just says inactive. Okay, but we'll do it anyway. Ring of Honor. Let's see. Move that up there. The Age of the Fall. See member list. We won't. The All Night Express. Rhett Titus and Kenny King. The Backseat Boys, Trent Acid and Johnny Cashmere. Trent Acid, one of the W originals.
The people need to know that. Just because we say that doesn't mean we know everybody on that list. It's just that we don't know necessarily everybody that was part of it or that they were part of it.
And then we have the Carnage Crew, DeVito, H.C. Luke, Just Incredible, and Masada. The Hit Squad, Monster Mac, and Mafia. The Decade, it says C member list, of course. Forever Hooligans, Alex Kosloff and Rocky Romero. The Havana Pitbulls, Rocky Romero and Ricky Reyes.
Mm-hmm.
The International Home Wrecking Crew, Rain and
I can't even read that.
Jots? I don't know what that says. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like kind of like block.
By Lacey.
Okay.
Von Erich or just Lacey? I don't know. Okay. The Kings of Wrestling, C member list. We will not.
Chris Hero.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you got one.
Yeah.
No Remorse Corpse, Davey Richards, Rocky Romero, and Roderick Strong. The Prophecy, The Rebellion, Caprice Coleman, Rhett Titus, Kenny King, and Shane Taylor. Okay. The Roppongi Vice, Beretta and Rocky Romero. The Rottweilers, see member list. All right. Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly.
Good workers, those two guys right there.
Yeah. All right. And then we got Scum. Also, see member list. You know, you guys can use Google if you don't know who this is. We got the Second City Saints, see member list on Google. Special K. And then we got Super Click. Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson, Super Click. Sorry about that. And then moving on to Japan. Is this going to be really hard for me, isn't it?
This is going to be really hard, yeah.
Okay, I'm already. It starts with burning, and I'm already burning. I'm going to try to read this list.
Well, we could say,
this is pretty good, though. This doesn't look too hard. Yeah. And then we have the complete players, Masato Tanaka and Jado and Jado. Let's see. Chokubugun, Taniguchi, Keno, and Haji Obara, Mitsuura, Kitamita. I spent time over there and I can't read this. And Morishima. Okay, and then we got the Dark Kingdom, the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, No Limit, Naito. Okay, thank you, Tommy. See, you can see it. Help me out here. Right. No Mercy, Rise, Roppongi Vice, Beretta and Rocky Romero, Roughly Obsess and Destroy.
Saigigan.
All right. Team 2000, Team Splitters, Alex Shelley and Kushida, Exceed. And then we move on to Total Nonstop Action.
And you know what happens with those names? They don't translate into something we would call an event. The wording is different. Like it doesn't sound like something that we would be doesn't completely translate.
Exactly. It's like trying to do like that talk to text kind of thing. It just comes out all messed up. And then we move on to No. All right. So now we have moving on to these teams here. 4 live crew: Ron Killings, Conan, BJ James, and Kip James. And then another team of AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, unnamed. Another unnamed team of AJ Styles and Tomko. Then we got Aces and Eights.
They had everybody.
America's Most Wanted, Chris Harris and James Storm. The American Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. The Angle Alliance. And then we got Angelina Love and Winter, Awesome Kong and Hamada. The Bad Street Boys. There was a bunch of those guys too.
Yeah.
Basham Brothers, Doug Basham and Danny Basham.
Yeah.
Beat Down Clan.
That Bashams were
they were from Ian.
Twins.
Right. Yeah, they were like the Monkey Brothers. I think they were referred to as. Then we got the Beatdown Brothers, Decay, Abyss, and Crazy Steve. The Death Crew Council, James Storm and Bram and Kingston. The Beautiful People, Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, Madison Rain, Lacey Von Erich, and Cute Kip. Was that like a...
I don't know.
Okay, I forgot to mention Abyss and Crazy were managed by Rosemary. So, okay, and then we're down to Beer Money Inc., James Storm and Robert Roode. And then the British Invasion, Doug Williams, Brutus Magnus and Rob Terry. Let's see, and that's a stable, no manager. Then we got the Bromans, Robbie E and Jesse Goddards.
Robbie E was excellent, very talented.
I'll take your word on that. Then we got the Christians Coalition, and then we got Danny Doring and Roadkill. Then we got the Diamonds in the Rough, Simon Diamond. Who's that? Tritan, Elix Skipper, and David Young.
Yep.
And then the Disciples of the New Church, the Dollhouse with Awesome Kong, Jade, Marty Bell, Rebel, and Tyron Terrell.
Yep.
Okay. And then we got the Dupes.
Yeah, the Dupes. They were like country boys.
Okay, the Dupes. The Dupes. Yeah. Okay. EV 2.0. And then the Fortune. Gail Kim and Madison Rain, unnamed. Generation Me, Jeremy Buck and Max Buck. Generation Next. Gunner and James Storm. Hamada and Taylor Wild. The Helms Dynasty, Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee. The Harris Brothers, Ron and Don. The Heartthrobs, Antonio and Romeo. Maybe. Immortal. Inc., Shannon Moore and Jesse Neal. The Insane Clown Posse, Violent J and Shaggy Two Dope. Kong Tourage. Let's see.
Aisha Saeed, Raka Khan, and Sojourno Bolt.
Thank you. Then we got the Lady Squad, Maria, Laurel Van Ness, and Sienna. Lethal Consequences, Jay Lethal, and Consequence Creed. All right. The Main Event Mafia. Let's see. Main Event Mafia Security, which was Big Tilly and Bruno Sassi. The Menagerie. Nux, Rebel, Crazy Steve, and The Freak.
That's a menagerie.
Yeah, sure is. Mexican America Hernandez and Ana Rosita and Sarita. Okay. And then we got Shazarian, Michael Sheen, and Kazarian.
Yes.
The Nasty Boys, Brian Knobs and Jerry Sags. The Naturals, Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens. Yeah, all right. That's written bad. The Band. And then we got the Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. The Paparazzi Productions, Alex Shelley and Kevin Nash. Let's see. There were okay, no managers. Then we got Planet Jarrett. Prince Justice Brotherhood, Eric Young, Curry Man, and the Shark Boy, Raven's Nest, the Revolution, the Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk, the Rock and Roll Rave Infection, Lance Rock and Jimmy Rave, managed by Christy Hen.
Okay.
Rosita and Sarita, Joel Maximo and Jose Maximo, the SATs, Sarita and Taylor Wilde, unnamed tag team, Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger in an unnamed tag team, Sports Entertainment Extreme, the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott Steiner, Team Britain, Team Canada, Team Dixie, Team Japan, Team Mexico, Team Pac-Man. Team Pac-Man actually gives us some names there. Yeah. Ron Kings, Rashid Creed, Lucia Creed, and Adam Jones. Team USA, the TNA Front Line, TNT, which was Tara and Brooke Teschmacher. Okay. The Tribunal, Baron Dax and Basil Baraka. Triple X, Christopher Daniels, Loki, and Elex Skipper. Voodoo Kin Mafia, the James Gang. BG James and Kip James, the World Elite. Veterans of War, Mayweather and Wilcox. All right. And then moving on to the WWE main roster tag teams. Let's see. 3MB. Heath Slater, Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal, and Hornswoggle.
Well, that Jinder Mahal, he came on like a gangbusters, and now where is he?
Right, and then just disappeared. 3-minute warning, Jamal and Rosie. Absolution, Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. Airborne, Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne. The Alliance. American Alpha, which was Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. The Authority. Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth. Good name. Baylor Club, Finn Baylor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Mm-hmm. The Bella Twins, Nikki and Brie Bella. Billy and Chuck, Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo, managed by Rico. Mm-hmm. The Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and Jay Uso. The Cabinet, the Colognes, Primo Colon and Carlito Colon, managed by Brie Bella. And I believe wasn't the daughter there. What? Oh boy, was her name?
The Clone?
The Cologne, the little.
I didn't know she had a daughter. I never saw the daughter.
Yeah, okay. Then we've got the Corey, Wade Barrett, Ezekiel Jackson, Heath Slater, and Justin Gabriel. Crime Time, JTG, and Shad Gaspard.
That's the guy that just died. He just died.
Oh, wow. Managed by Juarez. Deuce and Domino, managed by Cherry and Maurice.
That's Snooker's stepson or something. Deuce.
Okay. Then we got the Dude Busters, Kalen Croft and Trent Beretta. And we got the ECW Originals.
Oh, let's see the
on that list? Are we on that list? No.
Don't
but
aggravate.
Yes. All right. Enzo and Cass, Enzo Amore and Big Cass, managed by Carmella. Then we got Evolution, Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, and Batista. Then La Familia. Then the Funkadelics, Naomi and Cameron, Gabby and Benjamin, Chad, Gabby and Shelton Benjamin, Goldust and Stardust, Goldust and Stardust. They didn't give it a tag team name. Goldango, which was Goldust and Fandango. The Golden Truth, Goldust and R-Truth. The Gorgeous Truth, Tyler Breeze and R-Truth. Los Guerreros, Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero Jr. It says Gemini. Mike Sheen and Todd Sheen, managed by Simon Dean.
Okay.
Mike Bucci. All right. The Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy. Pretty sure they were managed by Lita, but that's not in there. And then the Hart Dynasty, Natalia, David Hart, Smith, and Tyson Kidd, managed by Bret Hart. The Hart Throbs, Antonio Thomas and Johnny Heartbreaker. The Highlands, Robbie McAllister and Rory McAllister. The Hurricane and Rosie, managed by Super Stacy. I don't remember that.
I can't read any of the next two. That's all.
A Ryder, Mojo, I don't know. Jericho, Kevin Owens. All right, Jerry Show, Chris Jericho and The Big Show. John Morrison and The Miz, managed by Nikki Bella. Jesse and Festivus.
Okay.
King Booker's Court. Lay Cool with Michelle Cool and Layla. Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch. The League of Nations, including Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Rusev and King Barrett. The Legacy, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase. The Lucha Dragons, Kelly Stio and Sin Cara. The Meta Powers, Macho Mando and Axelmania. The Mexicools, Psychosis, Juventud Guerrero, and Super Crazy. And The Miz and Damien Mizdo. Damien Sandow, I guess. Mizdo.
Yeah.
The Miz Tourage, The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas. The MNIM, Joey Mercury, Johnny Nitro, and Melina. Eminem, I'm sorry. My eyes are going bad here. The New Breed, The Nexus, The New Nexus. Let's see. Paul London and Brian Kendrick, managed by Ashley Moore. The Prime Time Players, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. Rated RKO, Edge and Randy Orton, managed by Lita. The Real Americans, Antonio Cicero and Jack Swagger, managed by Zeb Coulter. Primetime Players was managed by AEW. I don't know who that is. La Resistance is, let's see.
Sylvain Grenade.
Go on. Rene Dupree and Robert Conway.
Yep.
And then we got the Revival, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. Ryback and Curtis Axel. Okay. The Shield, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Then we got Show Miz, The Big Show, and The Miz. Slater Gator, Heath Slater, and Titus O'Neil. All right. The Social Outcasts, Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, and Adam Rose. The Spirit Squad, Johnny Kenny, Mikey, Mitch, and Nikki. Straight Edge Society, CM Punk, Luke Gallows, Joey Mercury, and Serena. Team Bad, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina. Team Bella, Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Alicia Fox. Team No Hell. Team Hell No. Excuse me. Dane Bryant and Keen. Team PCB, Paige, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte. Team Rhodes Scholars, Cody Rhodes and Damian Sando. Tons of Funk, Brodus Clay and Tensai. All right, managed by the Funkadelics.
Yeah.
Too Cool, Rikishi, Scotty Too Hottie, and Grandmasters Saxay.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Kidd and Cesario, managed by Natalia. The Un-Americans, Christian Lance, Storm, Test, and William Regal. The Vaudevillians, Aiden English and Simon Gotch. Vince's Devils, Candice, Michelle, Tori Wilson, and Victoria. I think they already gave us that one. Welcoming Committee, Natalia, Tamina, Carmela, and Alana. The World's Greatest Tag Team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. The Wyatt Family, Brian Wyatt, Luke Harper, Randy Orton, Eric Rowan, and Daniel Bryan, and Braun Strowman. And then we got Y2AJ, Chris Jericho, and AJ Styles.
It's a shame because I think that what's his name? We just said his name. AJ. I think AJ Styles ended up where in WWE maybe a little bit late, and I want to say that he could still work his ass off. But boy, could he prior. He did things that we were amazed. And it's a shame he spent all that time at his peak, not really in the place where he can make the most money.
Right. Well, anyhow, moving on. DIY was a tag team of Johnny Garango and Tommaso Ciampa. Okay. The beautiful, fierce females, Charlotte Sasha Banks and Summer Rae. Blake and Murphy, managed by Alexa Bliss. British Ambition, Adrian Neville and Oliver Gray. The Earl brothers, Gabrielle Earl and Uriel Earl. Yeah. Uriel.
Yeah. Earl.
Yeah. All right. The Stallions, Matt Riddle, Pete Dunne, and Timothy Thatcher. Let's see. God-gifted athletes, Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli. All right. Then we got High Flyers of Tomorrow, Humberto Carleo, and Raul Mendoza. The Metro brothers, Chris and Metro and JC Metro. Sorry. The mighty Shane Thorne and Nick Miller. So what we're going to do is we're going on to 205 Live. Now, these were WWE tag team stables that move on to other Japanese tag teams and whatnot. So we are going to get back to this tag teams and stables, in part 2. So join us back for part 2 of tag teams and stables of wrestling. Next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. here every week on Monte and the Pharaoh's YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. You'll get notifications of every time we're going to come on with something and, give you a little bit of wrestling history on Wrestling Rewind. Yes. So, and until next time, for my co-host, the Iron Man Tommy Cairo, I am Angel Amoroso saying, have a good night and a good life. See you next week. Goodbye.